The world remembered Laika as a hero. They put her on stamps, built statues, told children she had helped open the road to space. The truth is harder. She was never meant to come home, and the people who sent her knew that before the rocket ever left the ground. Before she became famous, Laika was just a stray dog from Moscow. She wasn't bred for science. She wasn't raised for space. She was taken from the streets because Soviet researchers believed stray dogs would be tougher, better able to survive cold, hunger, fear, and confinement than pampered animals. The world came to know her as Laika, but before that, she was also known as Kudryavka. In the weeks before launch, she was trained to sit in tiny pressurized compartments for longer and longer periods. Her body was monitored, her reactions were logged. Everything about her was reduced to data. One of the scientists, Vladimir Yazdovsky, later took her home to play with his children. He wanted her last days to feel warm and human. He knew what was coming. She didn't. On November 3, 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 2. Laika became the first living creature to orbit Earth. Inside the capsule, sensors tracked her breathing, pulse, and other signs of stress. At launch, her heartbeat surged. Her breathing became rapid and shallow. This was not symbolic fear, it was measurable. For a brief moment after reaching orbit, there was hope that she had stabilized. The Soviet public was told she was doing fine. The world was told she was adapting to weightlessness. But the spacecraft had been built in a rush. Just 1 month earlier, Sputnik 1 had shocked the world. Now, Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev wanted another victory, bigger, louder, more dramatic, in time for the anniversary of the Russian Revolution. There was no time to build a safe recovery system, so they launched anyway. And inside the capsule, the thermal controls failed. The cabin began to overheat. Within just a few hours of launch, Laika was dead. For decades, that truth was hidden. The Soviet story changed over the years. At different times, the world was told she survived for days, that she died peacefully, that she was euthanized as planned. But in 2002, Russian scientist Dmitry Malyshenkov revealed the real story. Laika had died within hours, from overheating and stress. She had always been on a one-way mission. The capsule had no re-entry plan, no rescue, no return. Laika was not sent into space to come back. She was sent to prove that something living could survive orbit, even if only briefly. And politically, she was also something else, a symbol. Sputnik 2 was not just a scientific mission, it was propaganda. A message to the world that the Soviet Union was ahead, bold enough to send life into orbit before anyone else. Laika was the payload that made that message unforgettable. And when she died, the message stayed. The truth did not. Sputnik 2 continued circling Earth for months after her death. It completed thousands of orbits before burning up in the atmosphere on April 14, 1958. Laika came back only as ash and memory. Over time, her story became harder to ignore. The public outrage around her death helped force deeper questions about the ethics of using animals in space research. Even some of the scientists involved later expressed regret. Oleg Gazenko, one of the leading researchers on the mission, said, "The more time passes, the more I'm sorry about it. We shouldn't have done it. We did not learn enough from the mission to justify the death of the dog." That may be the most honest sentence ever spoken about Laika, because she did change history. Her flight helped show that a living organism could survive launch and at least some period in orbit. That mattered for the future of human spaceflight. But her mission also exposed something darker: how easily science can be bent by politics, and how quickly a living creature can be turned into a symbol once the decision makers stop seeing it as alive. Laika was a stray dog from Moscow. She had done nothing except trust the humans who picked her up. And for decades, the world was given a cleaner story because the real one was harder to celebrate. That is why Laika still matters. Not only because she went first, but because her story forces us to ask what progress is worth when the one paying the price never had a choice.